Hey, welcome back, everybody. Bilskie back here with you. While we're waiting for this match to get started, wanted to once again give you the lineup, at least for the next few events here during the Great American Bash. Tomorrow night we will be in Jacksonville, Florida, at the Jacksonville Coliseum. Neil ET87 will host that TV taping for Worldwide Wrestling as part of the Great American Bash. The 28th, Daytona Beach, Florida. Neil ET87 will be promoting that one as well on his channel. The 29th in Houston, Texas at the Sam Houston Coliseum. I've neglected in the last two matches to mention that, but Sam Houston Coliseum on the 29th, 30th, the Cap Center in Landover, Maryland, and of course on the 31st, the big one in Cobo Hall with the main event, Dusty Rhodes and The Sheik against Dick Murdoch and Kevin Sullivan. That alone will be a powder keg. You can better believe that. And then the one after that, the one that we're pointing to right now, assuming we don't add any more dates in the month of August, August 6th, Kaiser Convention Center, the grand finale, so to speak, the final stop on the Bash Tour for this 1988 Great American Bash Tour that we've been following and playing along with, and you've all been following along, and we're certainly very grateful that you do that. We certainly have a good time reminiscing and doing these matches and recreating these. A lot of talented artists created a lot of these facial features that you see on, especially on Eaton and Lane and Kendall, Windham. I don't know all their names off the top of my head, but they're on Community Creations on the PS4 version of WWE 2K17. Much props out to you all for your creative efforts, and hope that the attire changes and entrance attires and everything that I've put on them is doing your original creations justice. And again, Neil and I are very appreciative of all the hard work and artistry that goes into creating these wrestlers. I just want to throw that editorial out there to those of you on the Wrestling Legends forum and all the other forums that follow along with us, and it's certainly greatly appreciated. As we're back here in the arena. No, it is not Gainesville, it is Savannah. As you see the crowd there, kind of pumped up here. They're waiting the arrival of, that was George South coming to the ring. It'll be George South and Kendall Windham against the new United States Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express, as Jim Cornette leads his men to the ring. We have been seeing... It's been a long time since we've seen the Midnight Express in wrestling attire. We've seen them and Cornette, of course, with his padded attire during the Great American Bash during the 3-on-2 handicap bunkhouse matches. But the U.S. Tag Team Champions into the ring now to face the team of Kendall Windham and George South, as we're about ready to get started here. Here on Worldwide Wrestling. Once again, glad to have you with us, and it's greatly appreciated. Allowing us to come into your homes, your devices, your laptop, your work computer, your smartphone, what have you. It is greatly appreciated. Collar and elbow, beautiful Bobby, and Kendall Windham. Top wrist lock now by Kendall Windham, the rangy 6'5", 200 pounder. I heard Jim Cornette describe Kendall Windham as a fishing worm with swimming trunks. Never at a loss for colorful words as Jim Cornette, but beautiful Bobby just got lit up with that clothesline by Kendall Windham. And beautiful Bobby with that Harley Race-like knee drive right to the face of Kendall Windham. Now beautiful Bobby lighting up Kendall Windham with those rights and left hands. United States Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express, have already, since winning the belts back, have made it very public that they want Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. They want the World Tag Team belts back. Of course, Jim Cornette doing most of the talking, obviously. Jim Cornette, his greed never ceases to amaze. Of course, the Horsemen, they're obliged to take on all contenders, including, there's the Flapjack, including the number one contenders. Stan Lane doing a little bumping and grinding here for the female fans here at the Savannah Civic Center, and certainly the educated feet of Sweet Stan Lane on display here. of Kendall Windham, the recipient of those educated feet. Lane was going for what looked like a roundhouse savate kick right to the midsection, but Kendall was ready for it. Kendall, of course, no slouch. Former champion in the state of Florida. Now the Midnight Express doing what they do best. Double team maneuvers. They are tag team specialists. Much like the Rock and Roll Express, Fantastics. They're arch rivals at this point in time. But as we mentioned, Jim Cornette has made it very public. They want the World Tag Team belts. Now that they are once again the #1 contenders for the World Tag Team belts, currently held, of course, by Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. As now Beautiful Bobby breaks away at the face of Kendall Windham, who his usual partner is the Italian Stein. It's very strange to see George South in here as he just jumps down. I guess he didn't want any part of Beautiful Bobby. Eaton now looked like a hammerlock into a suplex, but it was countered by Kendall Windham, who executes a running DDT on Beautiful Bobby Eaton of the Midnight Express. Kendall Windham now with a handful of hair just ramming Beautiful Bobby's head into the canvas. Kendall Windham showing a bit of an aggressive side. I guess it's kind of hereditary. His brother Barry, very aggressive, of course, member in good standing of the Four Horsemen, current U.S. champion. George South in there now. And another running knee hook by Beautiful Bobby. This man, Bobby Eaton, one of the most underrated athletes in the NWA. Can do a lot of things on the ground, in the air. A lot of the things he does in the ring are very smooth and very poetic-like in the ring. George South now, with a shoulder block, takes down Stan Lane. South now tags out, and once again, here comes Kendall Windham and Stan Lane using that martial arts skill of his. Of course, Stan Lane, a master of Korean karate, as a matter of fact. Stan Lane going after the left arm. Kendall Windham is a southpaw. Oh, speaking of the southpaw, he just laid that left hand right into the face of Sweet Stan Lane and then executes a drop kick. Lane outside the ring now. Now back inside. And Stan Lane with a running, leaping elbow drive there. And a back savate kick there. Ducks Kendall Windham. Now back into the Midnight Express corner they go. And once again, we will see this snapmare into an assisted atomic drop as Beautiful Bobby nails him with that leg drop. And there's that patent swinging neck breaker. And yes, as he holds true to form, he goes to the top. And Beautiful Bobby, nobody does it any better than Beautiful Bobby Eaton. As he flies off, he soars through the air with the greatest of ease, and he nails him with that elbow drop. Bobby Eaton also with that Alabama jam, he calls it, that leg drop off the top rope. U.S. Tag Team Champions looking good. Kendall Windham flat on the canvas, and now Sweet Stan. That was blocked by Kendall Windham and another counter. Oh, what happened there? Looked like Stan was going for an elbow, I guess, and Kendall moved out of the way. Kendall Windham now makes the tag to George South. George South getting a prime spot here on NWA Worldwide Wrestling, getting to showcase his talents here. Ring-wise veteran enhancement talent, if you will. Can't say enough about the enhancement talent of the NWA. David Isley, Trent Knight, Gary Royal, Tommy Angel, and George South. They get out there and give these stars like the Midnight Express a good match. There's no question about that, as George South drives Stan Lane's face into the canvas. And it is Sweet Stan with a driving back elbow. Sweet Stan now. Over the top. You might see that over the top clothesline, and yes, sirree, he nailed him with it. Little dance there. Not exactly what he was attempting to do, but in any event, into the corner they go. And yes, I believe we're going to see it. The patented move for the Midnight Express. The rocket launcher, there it is. Down for the lateral press, this is it. Your winners, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express. Looking awfully good here. And again, they have already made the challenge. Jim Cornette has issued the challenge to James J. Dillon and the Horsemen. They want the World Tag Team belts. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out over the next few weeks. As you take a look at some of the double T, there's the flapjack by the Midnight Express here in the Savannah Civic Center. Stan Lane showing his agility. Look at this. Slingshot off the top left-handed clothesline. And here's the patented Midnight Express finishing maneuver. The rocket launcher. Your winners, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, Beautiful Bobby and Sweet Stan, the Midnight Express, along with Jim Cornette. And we'll be back with Nikita Koloff right after this timeout.